Hey guys, welcome back to Honeycomb. My name is Kayo and we're gonna open up a box today. We've got mail, that's right. I'm quite excited. I know what's in here. I do know what's in here. If you're not subscribed, do subscribe. If you like coffee content, we have a bunch of it. Go back and look through our channel and I think you'll be surprised. We have a lot of stuff, brew guides. We just did a grinder review. So if you like any of those things, please do subscribe, tell a friend, and click the like button because all those things matter a lot. And of course, if you do have questions or experience with the stuff that we showed today, please do leave a comment down below because when people come across the video, they like to read the comments and you know, your experience is just as valid as mine. So do leave a comment if you have any thoughts on what we're gonna open up today. This is from a company called the Cupping Initiative, and they are the official distributors of KeepCup. Alright, so let's start up here. These are some KeepCups. You see it says the original up there. Here on the side it says, this is the cup that started the reuse revolution. Made to be loved and looked after. Use it and join the movement. Reuse it and change the world. Don't waste today. And then on the other side it says the world's first barista standard reusable cup. And the idea behind the KeepCup was that it was a cup that was made, I think, in Australia. Yeah, they're all made in Australia, BPA and BPS free. And the idea was that they wanted to make a cup that was designed by baristas for baristas. So this was the first one kind of coming out of that that specialty coffee movement in Australia. And those who remember back during that time, there really was nothing else that was so coffee specific as the KeepCup. So these are the original KeepCups, one in purple, one in yellow. Large is 16 ounces. So there's large, medium, and small. Now I like this size actually. I like them for coffee, but it's actually really good for sodas and cocktails as well. It's kind of like a pint glass. And the best thing about KeepCups is that you can deconstruct them, take them apart, and wash the whole thing. So it comes apart into all of its little bits and you can get in all those little nooks and crannies and make sure you get it washed real well. And to show you guys just how usable, how durable these are, I wanted to show you a cup that I've been using for, I'm gonna say 6 years now, 6 or 7 years now. And this is my original KeepCup. Still smells great. You know, I don't drink a lot of milk drinks, so that kind of helps me a little bit. Sometimes when you use milk drinks, all plastic cups acquire some smell. But because I don't drink as many milk drinks as I do, say, long blacks, long iced blacks, this has worked out for me really well. The lid still goes on nicely and seals well. I actually like this this plastic version because very durable. I think I won this at the AeroPress Championships 2015 or 16, one of those. And yeah, so the lid, you can see that they've changed the design. They've actually upgraded the design, it looks, over the years. The old one was a little easier to clean. This one looks like you can still clean it. You can still get in there and clean it, but it looks like the lid goes on a bit more securely with this new system. So it's called the original, but you can see there are already some upgrades. All right, so that's for the cups. But the real reason that I wanted to do this video was because of this thing. This is the new KeepCup bottle. It says here, a new twist on reuse, and then on the back it says KeepCup Helix, so the name is Helix, is a screw fit system. Twist together and make more of your on-the-go moments. Bottle, dual opening, vacuum insulated stainless steel, double wall stainless steel, easy fill, easy clean. So that's really always been a big part of KeepCup, as I showed with the lids that come apart. You want something that is easy to clean, which is an issue with a lot of double wall bottles. So if you're familiar with my brew method, the immerculation, we use thermos flasks for that, and we use bottles as well, not wide mouths. And one of the issues with that is that they're harder to clean. You actually need a pitcher rinser to clean them really well. But with this, you'll see that that is not an issue. Okay, so let's look at the bottle. On the bottom, it actually says KeepCup 16 ounces and bottle 22 ounces or 454 ml and 660 ml. The bottle itself is made of metal. It has kind of like a, I don't know if it's a powder coat, but this one is colored fuchsia with a maroonish kind of top, red top. You can unscrew the top and see right away that it is stainless steel. But the magic for this KeepCup is that you twist this part open, and you end up with the two parts of the bottle. Now what this means is that you can stick your hand in here and clean it really well and never get stuff really gunk up and stuck in there. So you always get to clean your KeepCup really well. I've actually been using this for a couple weeks already, and I'll get mine over here. I have a black version, and they're both pretty much the same. You can see there's a debossed logo there. It says KeepCup. I've been using it for coffee. I've been using it for cocktails, for water, and there hasn't been a lot of flavor blending between the two. The stainless steel does work just like any other double wall, and I did some thermal tests, and ice water that is down at 2 to 3 degrees Celsius dropped at the rate of about 1.5 degrees an hour, right? So that means that it takes about 15 hours for it to get to room temperature. So that means for an 8-hour stretch, your water will stay cold, especially if there's ice in there and you can drop the temperature a lot, then it will matter. One of the things that I did notice though is that it gets colder on top. So the double wall on the top section is a little bit thinner than the double wall on the bottom section, which makes sense because a lot of times when you're drinking like this is your coffee cup and you want it to be really hot and stay really warm. But one of the things that I really enjoyed with this KeepCup is using it as a cocktail shaker. Because it's stainless steel, it doesn't acquire the flavors of the stuff that you mix in it. Because of the shape, you can actually hold it really well and give it a really good shake. Ice doesn't melt that much, so you can shake a lot and not worry about too much dilution, or you can get a really good shake without the dilution dropping too much. Because you can't feel the cold, you do need to count or know how much shaking you're really supposed to do for your drink instead of relying on the touch temperature. But the other thing is that I've had some issues with the skin on my hands over the last few months, and that's why the videos have been a little bit sparse, was because I've been letting my hands recover. And one of the things that causes kind of the issues that I have with my hands is very cold temperatures, whether that be in the wind, the air, or holding something that's cold. So it's been a challenge. I haven't been able to really use a cocktail shaker for months, but now I've been able to use this as a cocktail shaker very effectively. And it's great because you can open up the top and do a single strain out the top, or you can open up the body and use a Hawthorne strainer to drain out your drink. So that's been really cool. That's one of the ways I've been using it. I don't think it was intended by KeepCup, but they did intend it for two things that I have been using it for. The first is as a travel bottle, so you can make your iced coffee or hot coffee, whatever, and take it with you. That's been really fantastic. But the other way is as a pour over device. Now, that's kind of wacky, to be honest, and that's why I went ahead and opened up this bottle already so I could test them out. So basically what happens is that you can open up the lid, open up the top of the bottle, and flip it this way, and now it's a pour over device like that. Isn't that something? Now of course, because it sits down into the cup, into the glass, it goes down to about this level, and they've done a really good job of putting this banding around the edge so that you can see kind of where the liquid will go up to. Now what I've done is that I've been brewing in this with about 230 to 250 ml of water, and it's been doing great. It's a system, so everything's interchangeable, meaning you can use different lids, mix and match, get them together. So if you have a bunch of different KeepCup Helix bottles, then you can interchange the bodies with each other and personalize it that extra bit. So after opening up the bottle and taking a look at all the stuff here, I'm gonna clear the table and let's brew some coffee with it so that you can see kind of what I've discovered experimenting with it and what my favorite recipe is for brewing with this device. So one of the great things about brewing directly into your cup is that it gets really hot versus brewing into another container, into a carafe, and pouring it into the cup. What happens usually then is that the cup is not so hot, or it'll be room temperature or even below room temperature, and it'll make your coffee cold right away, kind of the way that ice makes things cold right away, or when you drop a steak on a pan, the pan drops in temperature because the steak is cold. It's kind of the same thing. But if you brew directly into a device or into a cup, then the cup gets really hot and you can be done and screw it back on, and all of the thermal, all of the heat will stay in there. It's kind of cool. As I showed, you can put the V60 right on top. That means that you can do a 400, was it? Yeah, 450 ml brew, and it'll all stay in there if you need a lot of coffee for a group of people. And then this is the bathtub coffee Simplify brewer, and that sits on top as well really nicely. And the recipe that we're gonna do for this Helix brewer is the same as with the bathtub coffee, and the reason I chose to do that is, number one, the whole size is very similar between these two. If you align them, you can see that the circumference, the diameter of the circle is very similar between the two, and the mouth as well. And they use the same filter, which is the Kalita 155 wave filter, which is this one. Pop it in the top, and it kind of sits high, and then you push it down so that it sits inside of the brewer. Now, I'm not gonna rinse this filter. I've actually found that rinsing the filter in this particular brewer makes the filter a bit unwieldy, and it has a tendency to collapse on itself unless it already has the coffee inside to kind of hold it in place. So I'm gonna put that on top. And our coffee today is from Plain Sight Coffee Roasters. This is the Tade GG. Let's grind it. We're gonna grind it in the Brazzetti, very fine. 15 grams of coffee ground very fine. We're just gonna put it right in there. As you can see, it is very fine. I'm just gonna level it out. Kind of the point is that you have everything with you. So you want a brew method or a brew recipe that's really easy to do, that it doesn't require a gooseneck kettle. You can use any kettle. You just kind of need the scale to be able to make in order to be able to get the coffee to the volume that you want, the amount that you want. We're put 15 grams of coffee grounds in, and we're gonna put 250 ml of water in all at once. We're gonna try and get it all in there. So 95-degree water, we're just gonna put all of our water right into the pour over device. No circular pouring, no nothing, no special bloom or whatever. We're just gonna put all the water in and let it do its thing. And I feel like this is a good match for a brewer that's supposed to kind of be no nonsense. It's just grab and go, ready to go. No rinsing, no nothing. Just put the coffee in, put the water in, let it draw down. Let's brew. Resisting the temptation to pour in a circle. Instead, just letting it drip through the middle. 250 ml. $250. We're just gonna let that draw down. 250 ml to 15 grams of coffee is a little bit more than 16. A 1:16 ratio. It's 1:16.3. And as you can see, it does draw down relatively fast. It's not too much of a high and dry method, meaning you can see that not so much coffee is getting stuck at the top. But because we didn't rotate, we didn't pour in a circle, it just kind of kept all of the coffee moving in this kind of circular motion. All right, 2 minutes, 42 seconds. So I just gave the top a little rinse, and now I'm gonna just put it right back on top of the KeepCup. Seal it up. You can see it steaming. And I'm gonna close it. And you do have a really nice seal on there. So you don't have to over squeeze it, just once it stops, it's stopped. And coffee's nice and locked in there. Doesn't feel too hot to the touch. It's warm up here because we are brewing up here. And as you remember, when you're pouring down, this entire top is inside the cup, so it's kind of steaming back up at the cup. But the bottom part is not hot at all. It's not warm at all. Now let's taste it. It's quite surprising. Juicy, well balanced. We use a longer ratio than we usually use because we wanted to get as much coffee into the bottle as possible. Wow, that's a really good brew. Easy to do. I mean, I could get a more jam-packed, juicier brew from a V60, even from a simplified brewer, but I need to bring all that stuff with me, right? If I'm traveling, if I'm on the go, I can just bring this with me, maybe my hand grinder, maybe my Time War Go grinder, watch our review, and just a few of these paper filters, and I'm ready to go. Have you tried this brewer? Have you tried this bottle? It's super interesting. It's a fun thing. I bring it with me everywhere. It goes with me in my car. It goes with me to the golf course, everywhere. And that's kind of the point, like making these products usable in everyday life, and you can throw it in your bag and go. That's the nice thing about the plastic stuff. I have glass KeepCups, but I use the plastic ones because they're the ones that you can bring around with you everywhere. And that's kind of the point, the more sustainable lifestyle, and not have to compromise on the quality of what your drinks taste like, and have products that last you a really long time. Thank you to KeepCup and the Cupping Initiative for sending this over. You should be careful. There are fake KeepCups out there. They didn't ask me to say this. It's just my experience. There are fake KeepCups out there that are made in China. And if they are made in China, you're not sure about that BPA and BPS free mark. So make sure you get the ones that are made in Australia. They are distributed here exclusively by KeepCup's official distributor, which is the Cupping Initiative. You can hit them up on Instagram. And if you are a coffee company that wants to make some special items, like you want to do an engraved version of this, or you want to do a version with your logo on the KeepCup, Cupping Initiative does that as well. You can reach out to them on Instagram. And follow us on Instagram as well. I'm at Kayo. Follow at Daily Drink Mag on Instagram. And follow at Honeycomb Manila, which is this our studio in Double Dragon Plaza. I wish you guys good luck. I wish you guys good health. I wish you guys some great coffee. I'm not gonna drink all of this. I'm gonna keep it and drink it later today. And I should be able to because it's in a nice vacuum sealed double wall container. Peace.